show you guys how I think when I'm in a live trade and talk about the trade setup. But first, we got to find the trade setup. So I want to slap some NVIDIA puts below this level right here. Nice downside action. Now we just need for us to wait for a retest and then we'll probably enter in. So I got to figure out what I did wrong here. This is on a 15 minute time frame.
I am going to do my absolute best to do a recap and also what I could have done better.
So I'm eyeing some AMD puts here. Good morning to my fellow traders. Welcome back to another vlog video trading session. What it's like to be a day trader. Time is currently 7:16 a.m. Watching the market as a whole together with the gang on Discord. Not really seeing much so far. Market's trying to go bullish. SPY again breaking out here all-time highs for the third day in a row. Lots of stocks going crazy too. Even Apple new all-time highs. So everything's going crazy so far. So we're just gonna wait for a setup. And if I do trade anything, I'll live record it. Show you guys how I think when I'm in a live trade. Talk about the trade setup. But first, we got to find the trade setup. So
a trade that I'm guaranteed taking today is NVIDIA, guys. We're gonna take some puts on NVIDIA below 144.16. Now, SPY is breaking all-time highs here, holding it too with a decent flag on the 15 minutes. Market is pretty tricky today, but that's probably the one and done trade I'm going to take. I'm going to load the boat pretty decent on this one.
So I want to slap some NVIDIA puts below this level right here, which is pre-market low 144.16. Just going to wait patiently though for another 15 minutes just for confirmation. And we're going to wait for confirmation and do the break and retest strategy because we get the best entry for a small loss and a good reward. So we literally probably already missed this play. Look at this. Everything's falling perfectly. We're still going to enter it here soon on a break and retest though. So this is a perfect setup for us. Nice downside action. Now we just need for us to wait for a retest and then we'll probably enter in.
Dang, I super missed that drop on NVIDIA right there because SPY was bouncing right here, so I wasn't sure if I trusted it. Even Apple's bouncing, QQ's bouncing. NVIDIA's straight dropping, man. Look at that. Perfect break and retest strategy there. Didn't even enter. Look at that perfect drop, guys. Guys, look at how much NVIDIA dropped. That thing went crazy. This is what it looks like on the 5 minutes. I was watching it. I was skeptical, but we got the nice break and retest here. Drops down super hard, man. These contracts went to 247 and they were at like 130. SPY also dropped below that level too. I mean, everything just pulled back pretty hard. So we're gonna see what else we can catch out there. But I need a trade like that. That trade is nasty.
So I'm eyeing some AMD puts here. Don't want to get faked out, so I will wait for a 5-minute candle close or 15-minute candle close. I'm in these AMD puts here. I'm in a little bit early. Needs to break below the support, but so far everything's dropping here pretty strong again. So we're in half of them, and I'll buy another half later. So we just got out of those bad boys at 45 exit from 69 entry. I had 4 of those bad boys, so I'm down pretty horrendous on this one, or at least this trade. It did hit my stop loss. It's rejecting the 9 EMA, but I'm not gonna hold it any longer because I don't want this to turn any worse.
So we just took a live trade on AMD calls, as you guys can see here, or AMD puts. I tried to enter some shorts a little bit early. That was kind of my fault. I did enter 4 when I was supposed to enter 2, which is totally fine though. Down $96 on this trade specifically, and it did hit my stop loss. An actual candle close. Now, what it looked like to me was markets falling down, which it is still falling down here, but I'm not going to re-enter or even take that trade at all. So it is a little bit of a tough market because you guys can see right here, SPX and SPY are pulling down hard, but the only stocks that are pulling up is NVIDIA and AMD.
So guys, we got clapped on those AMD puts. Currently in some SPY puts for the last one. Unfortunately, I didn't get to call this one out. We got a nice head and shoulders here too as well. Market does look like it's going to pull down here after it just faked me out. So unfortunately, it is what it is though, guys. I'm still trying to take the setups that I normally would, even in a normal market, but this market is very tricky. Tends to fake you out, and I got faked out pretty much like 3 or 4 times already this week so far. Monday was the only good day, and then after that, literally just horrible fake outs the whole time.
But I am in SPY puts here. It's currently at a support. Still up to 5% on this one. Did see 20%, but we are going to try our best to hold it for a little bit more. And plus, I'm only in 2 of them anyways. So we're going to see what this market does. And so far, everything's pulling back here. But I do got to head out of here, so I will manage it on the road.
So unfortunately, on most of the signals that I called out this week did pretty bad. Now, even on the good ones, man, if you held it longer than I did, then we could have had a better week. But because of the SPX trade that I called out, which is out of my playbook, was a bad loss. That was a negative instant 30% L, which was a pretty big L, to be honest. It was over $100 on a single trade, even if you took 1 contract. Now, I had 1 contract. If I took 2, that would have been a $200 trade off that one. So unfortunately, it is what it is though. It's still a trade that I called out. It's still a trade that I was watching. So it's still my fault. Now, I am going to do my absolute best to do a recap and also what I could have done better.
Car pulling up.
So I will do a recap on what I could have done better, how I need to improve in the market. What I'm noticing is I am taking calls or puts at support levels before it actually gets a nice solid breakdown, which is what I've been doing today as well. I took it a little bit early, but it's totally fine, guys. It's my fault. I understand these are just very small rookie lessons that I need to stop doing and taking. because I want to catch the drop before it actually even happens. But anyways, guys, let's continue on about our day. Of course, this week was a bad week. Last month was a very good week, but this week, guys, so far, last month was a very good month. And this week so far, the 1st of December week, I'm not doing too hot on the signal. So I do feel bad because there are some people that just recently joined too as well. And they took all my call outs this week, and bad, unfortunate, unprofitable week. So we're going to do a recap, see how much we lost overall this whole week, and then talk about it some more.
Guys, look at AMD now. So I got to figure out what I did wrong here. This is on a 15-minute time frame. Now it's breaking down. About to get a nice close below here in 30 minutes on the 30-minute time frame. So we're seeing 25% here. We saw 32, but we're going to try our best to hold. As you guys can see, it's breaking that support too, but we need that kind of close.
So guys, 7:46 p.m. and we're just gonna go over all the trades that we took and the ones that we called out and wrap it up for the week before we do a recap video on all the trades that we just called out and do an in-depth video on what we could have worked on better, what we could have done better, because I'm already noticing on Friday I did the worst call outs I could have ever done as far as entering went in way too early, and I'm going to show you guys that here as well and show you guys my orders. So we're going to break it all down right now real quick.
So my first trade call out, which you guys can see I'm on my live account, is 4 contracts, except I just called out the strike, the contract price, and what the expiration was. So I called them out at $69 a piece. I sold at $45 value, and this was the setup, guys. So I entered at the bottom of this candle here on the 5 minutes. I'll show you guys 5 minutes in a second, but you guys can see we closed above my stop loss, so I just had to exit out, but it ended up going into my favor later on. Now on the 5 minutes, looks a little bit better. You guys can see nice little bearish pennant or little bearish flag, whatever you want to call it, this little thing that's getting tight. But you guys can see when I entered on this candle here, it ends up bouncing and I had to sell at a stop loss. But after I got out, again, it just tanks down. Perfect hits price target. It's bounced back up to that little support level and then rejects one more time. Then we took some SPY calls before we left. Bought them for 80. Didn't call out this one though. Sold them for $55. Had 2 of them. So we did see 32% on this trade here, but we still wanted to hold for some more. Unfortunately, sold those ones for a loss. You guys can see I entered off of this retest here. Pulls it down to nice 32%, but ultimately rockets back up. I had to sell at my stop loss. And this is how much we are down, unfortunately, for today. So you guys can see now I'm going to click my positions and show you guys how much I am down on the day. So unfortunately, I'm down 146 on this day. So unfortunately, only glad I did 1 call out, but I did take 2 trades and they were very bad. So hopefully next week can have a better situation. And let me show you guys what I missed here on NVIDIA. NVIDIA had probably the most best setup, a nice fat head and shoulders here on this is on the 5 minutes, so this looks a little ugly, but you guys saw it earlier. And then on the 5 minutes, we get a perfect, nice break down or pre-market low, which is where I said I want to take puts at. Plus this level here, that is my friend Elias's level. Nice break and retest there. He entered there. Unfortunately, I missed out, and that thing just went crazy, guys.
So I hope you guys had an awesome end of the week. I hope you guys had a good Friday, and I'll catch you guys on next week's video. Unfortunately, this week was a pretty bad, unprofitable week, but last month we've been killing it. So far this month, started December, the first week, it has been horrible. So I hope you guys been having a different story than me. Let's keep on pushing up these numbers. Let's keep running up these numbers. Let's keep working our butts off and trying to get people into the free Discord so that we can teach as much people as we can about trading, but also try to do our best in the live call up. So I'm going to do a recap video, so be on the lookout for a recap video, and we're going to break down all the trades that we called out, all the trades that we took, why I took it, what was the reason, and where I exited at, as well as the breakdowns on all the wins and losses. So hope you guys have a good, awesome weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.